Now we can finally reveal this house in Queensland.
We're visiting a massive 25-acre property today, located just a 30-minute drive from the Brisbane CBD.
3 shipping containers, 1 water tank, 105 insulated panels and 3,500 bricks is all it took to create this off-grid sustainable family home.
Matt, this is such a quirky space. Tell us about your design process.
Well, thanks very much, Carleen. So when we came to the site, the first time we saw it, it was quite long and elongated site we chose to put the house. So the house really needed to sort of meld into the land and make sure that it could follow the contours. So we designed this pavilion-style home, which is about 34 to 35 metres long and only about 6 to 8 metres wide all the way down.
What about the materials you've used? Because I just could see you've used a few shipping containers. What else have you used in the project?
Well, look, I think for me it's really important to make sure that when you're doing a sustainable home, you use the right materials. And obviously in Queensland, out here in the bush, it gets pretty hot. Yeah. So we want to make sure we've got plenty of insulation, and we used the Bondor insole wool panels for the walls, solar span for the roof, and some of their other cladding products, which provided an amazing amount of insulation for the home.
So talking about sustainability, are you off the grid here?
Yes, we are. I mean, it was important to me to walk what I talk. If I'm preaching to my clients about being sustainable and living a sustainable lifestyle, I think this has been a bit of a test case for that, for us. So yeah, we're off the grid completely. We run on solar, we run on a 48 volt DC, which is a battery system. Gives us about 2 days of reserve power for a family of 6, which is pretty good. Every now and then, when it gets wet or rainy, we do have to turn the generator on, but not often. And I think the benefit of that is for the cost of running power to the house here. We've really just installed a solar system because we've got such a long driveway. We're only 30 k's out of the city, but yet we're completely disconnected. And I often joke with the kids that we're going to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Tell us about your kitchen materials.
We've chosen this 3-dimensional cabinetry detail just to pick out a little bit of that mid-century modern vibe, and then obviously the timber, which is a big part of that mid-century modern. And then we've topped it off with what I like to call some of my children's inheritance in this beautiful gold copper coloured stainless steel splashbacks.
What we see here is obviously your main living area, kitchen, living, dining, so your common area.
Yeah.
What does the rest of the house entail?
I guess it's 2 pavilions really, as you said, the living area here, so we've got our main living, dining and also outdoor connections too, so we've got connection to a fire pit, out to a courtyard. And then the next pavilion is separated by a covered breezeway area, and then we have all of our bathrooms and bedrooms and wet areas down there.
Well, this is very cool. Should we go see the rest of the house?
Let's do that. I'm looking forward to showing you.
Well, Matt, you had me with the shipping container. I love it.
I know you're a fan of shipping containers, Michael. You've been doing those caravans, but look, we've got 3 recycled containers here, so 40-foot high cubes, which we bought and I refurbished. And they've become an integral part of the house. We've used them for all our wet areas and service areas. There's 2 back-to-back here. They become our ensuite and walk-in robe with the kids' bathroom. The thing I love about them the most is the texture of the walls. We've really, played around with what we can get with this texture, and it's created this beautiful effect of shadow and light for us, which is really good.
Tell us about the bathroom materials, because they look really interesting as well.
Yeah, well look, we've tried very hard to give a bit more of a higher end feel to our bathroom, given it's in a shipping container. I really wanted it to not feel like it was in a shipping container.
And even that hob looked like a polished concrete piece.
It's pretty hard to do polished concrete in a container, so I found a vinyl that you wouldn't know to look at wasn't concrete, and actually it worked out better because we could really mould that hob reasonably tight and get some nice smooth corners into it.
I absolutely love this concept of, I guess essentially it looks like two separate dwellings joined by this breezeway.
Yeah, I think a few people are a bit hesitant about a breezeway and the way you have to walk from your living room through kind of an open space into your bedrooms, but once the screens are down, it's actually really secure. It just feels like a nice outdoor room.
Yeah, that's actually what I really like about it, is that it's sort of really transient space. It's right now we feel completely like we're outside. Yeah, but like you say, as soon as those doors come down, you really have an interior space.
You do, and you can use it that way as well. You know, in the winter, it's actually kind of nice to have the doors down and you're hunkered down. And if you're out in the courtyard and you know, on a hot summer's day, when it's nice and cool, that's great to be able to cycle in and out and have the shade here. So it actually is a very flexible space. You can use it very differently.
So is there anything that you've learnt in this build that you're going to incorporate into your clients' work?
Well, Michael, one of the biggest things is obviously the sustainable aspects of the project. I mean, you're always constantly learning when you're talking about sustainability, and there's some fundamentals to the design that will always be present, but it's those little detail elements, you know, like thinking about the way you do your landscaping, and you know, we've used rock from the property, and we've tried our very best to think sustainably. So I've learnt a lot about that aspect of it, more than I thought I actually would.
Well, Matt, it's been sensational. You've done such a fabulous job. Thanks for having us through.
Well, thanks so much for saying that, and thanks a lot for coming out. It's been great having you. I'm really looking forward to showing you some more of this stuff later in the future.